Welcome back to Rabbit Hole Radio. My name is Megan. This video is kind of a part 2 to my last video. If you haven't seen that one, go watch it because this one might not make any sense. I will leave the link for it in my description, but this video is going to be pretty quick. It's going to be a really quick part 2, but grab your snacks if you want to, go grab your blanket, and let's dig into the darkness of this ruin. The internet loves a good tragedy. If you spent any time online over the past decade, you've seen it. The curated sadness, the pastel graphics on Instagram telling you to check on your friends, the poetic Tumblr posts, the glamorized pain. We've created an entire digital culture around mental health awareness. We made it relatable, quirky, a badge of depth, sensitivity, and authenticity. But apparently the internet has empathy boundaries, a very strict, ugly boundary. The internet loves to say they're pro mental health. As long as it's pretty, though, as long as it's not too intense. Because when you strip away the filters and the romanticized quotes, real severe psychiatric illness isn't an aesthetic. It is a war zone. And when that raw, uncurated chaos actually leaks onto our feeds, the internet doesn't offer validation. It builds a coliseum. Now I'm going to take you down the rabbit hole of the most hypocritical moments in modern internet history. I will be talking about this situation with Gabbie Hanna.
Yeah, they love that I hate myself. People love that I hate myself. People love that I hate myself. People love that I hate myself.
A few years ago, TikTok and YouTube became a window to a living nightmare. Gabbie Hanna, a creator who spent years in the public eye, she began posting on TikTok. Not curated, not a vlog, or a story time. This was different. It was raw, frantic, and deeply unorganized. Dozens of videos in a single day. Rapid-fire speech, paranoia, delusions. A mind moving at a speed it couldn't handle. Anyone even with a baseline understanding of what severe mental illness looks like, they knew that's what was happening. But how did the mental health awareness internet react? Did people be kind? Nope. They treated this situation like a reality show. Commentary channels swooped in like vultures, creating multi-part documentary series, dissecting her words, analyzing her expressions, all for the views and for the revenue. The comment sections were filled with millions of people laughing, mocking, and turning a human psychological break into a meme. And that's because the internet doesn't actually want to understand severe mental illness. When it stops being a relatable, trendy thing, it becomes uncomfortable. And when it becomes uncomfortable, empathy vanishes and the exploitation begins. Eventually, the storm did clear. Time passed, and like anyone surviving a heavy chapter, she tried to step back into the world. She tried to make content again, talk about her life, and share her perspective. She wasn't frantic anymore. She wasn't in crisis. She was just talking. But the internet already locked her in a box. The exact same audience who claimed to be pro-mental health immediately swarmed her comment sections, diagnosing her all over again. Every time she spoke with emotion, every time she tried to defend herself, every time she expressed a strong opinion, the comments flooded with the exact same buzzwords. Is she having another episode? She's clearly manic right now. Is she back in psychosis? But she wasn't manic. She was not in psychosis. She was just a human trying to exist online after a tragedy. But that's the definitive proof of how completely disconnected the internet is from what mental illness actually looks like. To a casual scroller of TikTok, mania isn't a medical emergency. It's just a label you throw at someone who's acting too loud, too messy, or too inconvenient. They don't know the diagnostic criteria. They don't know the clinical reality. They just learned a couple medical terms from a 60-second TikTok video, and they use them to permanently strip away someone's humanity. Once the internet decides you're crazy, they never view you or allow you to be sane again. Every normal human emotion you express for the rest of your life, it will be treated as a symptom. This is the grand illusion of the digital age. We've confused burnout or having a bad day with severe chronic psychiatric conditions. When social media says normalize mental health, they mean mild anxiety. They mean being a little introverted. They mean the kind of sadness you can cure with a self-care routine and a hot bath. They don't mean psychosis. They don't mean mania. They don't mean losing your grip on reality entirely. And honestly, watching the world mock that reality, it didn't just make me angry, it broke my heart. because for me, this wasn't a case study. This was my life. I know exactly what was happening in those videos with Gabbie. I know the terrifying, suffocating reality of bipolar disorder and psychosis. I have been in that exact same dark room, not once, not twice, but 6 times. I know what it's like to feel your mind fracture, to have your thoughts betray you, to look at reality and watch it warp into something unrecognizable. It's a living, breathing nightmare. It is a fight for survival where you have absolutely no control over the damage you're causing. And the worst part, it's not just surviving the episode, it's the morning after. It's when you're locked in a psych ward and wake up restrained to a hospital bed. When the mania finally clears and the psychosis starts to reduce, you don't even wake up feeling refreshed. You're stuck in a hospital, usually on an involuntary hold for as long as they want to keep you there, and you wake up standing in the mess of your own life. I am still paying the price for my illness. I am dealing with the heavy consequences, the destroyed relationships, and the fallout in my personal life to this day. And I see the exact same thing happening to Gabbie Hanna, but clearly on a much bigger scale. But it just fits the narrative more that people don't know how to react in a real mental health crisis because it's been so glamorized on the internet that people think it's this quirky thing of being scared to answer a phone or being scared to make a doctor's appointment or doing little things like that that make you anxious. That is not a crisis. And that's why people don't take people who have mental health crises seriously, is because they think of stuff like that. And when psychosis happens, they don't know how to react because that was not what the internet told them could happen from mental illness. When you have psychosis, people just deem you as crazy, unstable. You don't get treated the same after you have an episode in front of people. True illness leaves a stinging, aching pain in your chest. It's an exhausting realization that this is a lifelong sentence. You're left wondering if things will ever truly be okay again, or you're just waiting for the next time your mind turns against you and sends you back to the hospital. People have spent decades pretending that being broken was a fashion statement, a cool subculture, a way to look interesting. But the moment someone shows us what a broken mind actually looks like, the moment they show us the terrifying reality of a condition I fight every single day, the internet ridicules them for it. And to wish for an illness like this, to treat a lifelong battle as a seasonal trend, is only a luxury the healthy can afford. Because, real talk right now, nobody who's lived through the terror of psychosis would ever wear it as a badge of honor. Turn off the screens, check on the people who are acting inside for the camera. This is Rabbit Hole Radio. Bye.